Hi, welcome to the review of the NO.1 N4, also known as the NO.1 Note 4. I kindly received this device from the Gearbest Online Shop, and you can find, as usual, the product link in the video description. You can get this device for roughly 110 euros plus taxes and possible sending costs. So let's just jump right in, and as you possibly see from the name, or as I told you in the unboxing, or basically just from the looks, this device is a clone of the popular Samsung Galaxy Note 4, but obviously to a much shorter price. So let's just see from the outside, and I can really tell you that this device totally looks and feels actually even like the original Note 4. So it also has a metal frame, also the buttons are made out of metal, and the only thing which I noticed which is not 100% like the original device is, okay, beside that we have obviously a NO.1 logo here, is that the back is not as smooth as in the Samsung one, but it's a bit more grippy, which is actually not even bad, and personal opinion I would say. So let's just start it up, and we see here that it actually also has a copied TouchWiz interface, and you already see that it also I'm now supposed to give my fingerprint here, which I will do, and it says recognized. Well, it's not actually having a real fingerprint sensor. Here's obviously not the fingerprints on the back, it just checks if you slide down something, which is like a nice effect, but yeah, not really bad. Oh, not so really good, whatever. So, and as you can see here, it also copied the whole TouchWiz interface from the Note 4. And to be like kind of surprisingly, this thing works even kind of fast. So in general there are not much lags. Obviously if you will have lots of apps in the background, then this thing actually really starts lagging like shit, and therefore I also installed an alternative launcher. I think it was Nova Prime launcher, and this thing really runs smoothly like you're kind of used to from native Android launchers. So, what kind of special features does this device has? It actually even copied the air gesture feature from the Note 4. As I can show you here, it really supports this air gesture feature. If it's really useful, I actually don't think so, and I don't know anybody who's really using it, but whatever. Let's just jump in the settings and let's check what kind of Android is this device running on. It says it's supposed to run on Android 4.4.2 KitKat. So let's click on it, and we actually see the KitKat logo is booting up. But if we keep on pressing here, the JellyBean game appears. Not this typical KitKat tiles, which actually then means again this device is actually running on Android 4.2 JellyBean. Which is personally for me not too bad, since I actually still use most of my apps, just need JellyBean. But for somebody who really uses KitKat and needs KitKat, that's obviously a big downside. So let's just see what kind of languages does it support. So I will, like usual, just scroll through the languages, and you can see if you want a language is supported or not. So these were all the supported languages, and let's go back. And as I already just showed you, it also supports air gesture, but it also supports gesture recognition, which is just a kind of smart wake up. So for example, you have the predefined patterns here like C, O, W and so on. You actually cannot modify the patterns, but you can change the application which is connected to this pattern. So for example, I activated the C, which is connected by standard to the camera, and I can just simply draw a C here, and it brings me to the lock screen where I have to obviously unlock my phone with my real fingerprint, and it's recognized, and it starts the camera. So this smart wake up really is working. So let's just jump to the applications, and let's check what kind of sensors does this device have. So Sensor Toolbox returns me that it should supposed to have the accelerometer sensor, the light sensor, an orientation sensor, the proximity sensor, a sound sensor and a magnetic field sensor. Let's begin with the accelerometer. And you can see it basically works like it's supposed to work. So the light sensor, which sits on top of here, also works. Then we have the proximity sensor, also here. Works also quite well. So let's see the orientation sensor. And you can see nothing happens. So this thing is probably a fake, as well as the magnetic field sensor. It gives no real data back. Also, if you try to calibrate it with this typical 8 movement, nothing happens. That's probably fake. So let's get back, and just to roughly get an idea what kind of performance does this device have, I ran the Antutu 5.6 benchmark and it returns with a value of roughly 20,000 points. I actually don't know why it now shows me here that it's a non-verified score. In the help it says that probably this device tried to fake something, but I just tried this several days ago I meant, and it actually didn't show this up, so I have no idea what this means. This is actually quite logical, I mean not too high results for an MT6582 with 1 GB of RAM, actually just what you would expect. So I don't think actually that this is fake, since this device should be enough for an everyday average user. So yes, that's basically it. And besides this kind of normal functions, it actually also copied the heartbeat sensor, which I'm still 100% sure if it really gives accurate data. But just to show you how it works, that now I start measuring and put my finger on the back beside the flash. And it gives me a rate of roughly 90 beats per minute. Well, actually this is quite high, so this actually gives me doubts then if it really works like this, because until now it always gave me kind of rational outputs, but this one is quite high. I actually still don't know 100% the meant if this thing is true or not. I will give you another update in the text-based review on that. So beside that, it also has, like the original one, a notification LED on the top left. I can show this quickly with this little test program and just show you it supports the colors red, green and blue. So let's hit up the green one and the red one. And also the blue one. Beside that, it also supports USB on the go. At least it says so in the specification. To check this, I have here a normal USB stick and my ordinary USB on the go cable. So let's just quickly put this in and connect the USB stick to the mobile phone. And let's wait a second. And you can see it perfectly recognized the USB stick. It already wants to ask if it should change the default writing disk. So this phone supports USB on the go. The NO.1 N4 also comes with an S Pen imitation, which is placed just like on the original one in the back of the device. So we're just gonna pull it out now, and as you pull out this little stylus, it automatically pops up a little overlay menu here, which we can just place anywhere on the menu which you want to, which gives some shortcuts to some S Pen style apps, let's call it. Like for example, it's called Action Memo. So and then we can just anyway, just write some stuff, NO.1 N4, like this. And basically, obviously, the responsiveness of this little stylus is far not as good as on the original Note 4, but to a little stylus to write some small things, it's okay basically. And just as a small note, actually this button here doesn't do anything. It's just like a plain fake button, whatever. So let's close it up here. And no, I don't want to change it. We can like usual also do the whole Android thing on here. It's like a normal stylus. So put this one back here. So to come to a small conclusion, if you're just as a side hint, if you're more like interested in, for example, how is the actual battery life, or how is the GPS working on this device, or if you want to see some sample pictures on the front camera or of the back camera, then I can just advise you, go to my post, which I'll give you the link to in the video description, and just read the full description where I cover all of the just mentioned topics. To come to a small conclusion about the No.1 N4 now, I can actually say if you're interested in a Samsung Galaxy Note 4 clone, which should feel actually just like the real device, so if you're into that design and want to have a phone which looks literally one-to-one like the Note 4, but you're not interested in paying I don't know how many euros, but you actually also don't need as much performance as the Note 4 gives you, then I can actually recommend you this phone, since it gives you the feeling of having a real Note 4, which is obviously not as fast as the original one, but actually feels from the outside really much like it. Then I can advise you or recommend you this phone. It actually has two major drawbacks which you have to take in consideration, which is once the GPS reception is really bad and the battery life is not too good. Although I actually heard that Samsung Galaxy Alpha batteries are fitting into this device. So basically if you're willing to pay, let's say, around like 15 bucks more to get a decent battery, then also this major drawback can be left aside and just the GPS stays like this. Means in basic, if you're interested in a clone of the Note 4 and don't really use GPS, this device is good. Otherwise, it's a kind of decent medium device. So, I hope this review gave you some conclusions about it. If not, then give it a chance and read my full review. And just hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you didn't do so. Have a nice day and bye!